Phil Lindsey and Righteous Reg of Grapsody. Fellas, what's going on?
Good. I'm other like everybody else looking at this Netflix Paramount stuff. Like this does not look good, but it is what it is.
Reg, what's good with you, man?
It is your favorite rapper, your favorite writer, and your favorite podcaster. I'm here, Rich. It took a little bit of time. I went around the corner and around the back, but I hopped the fence, and your boy is here. It is time. Yes, we are absolutely cooked, my friend Philip Lindsay. I don't know what time. I don't know what day it is. They're trying to silence us specifically. They're like, oh, you guys are writers. Y'all be talking on podcasts. Like, they're coming for our podcast next, Phil. You know that's what's happening.
Yeah. Well, we'll
Yeah.
see.
Come on.
So, yeah, glad y'all fellas are here. We'll do a little bit of housekeeping and all that. Unfortunately, James is not joining us this week. Get well soon, James. I know
Absolutely.
you'll probably feel better next week. But, yeah, we got a huge show planned. I ran into Reg at the Sacramento AEW show last week, and I was like, we got to get you on. And,
Yep.
Phil was gracious enough to join us as well. And, just seeing you guys, and what you guys have accomplished and you guys have done over at Fightful and building up Grapsody is just a pleasure to watch from afar. And, just we've always kind of been kindred spirits kind of out here. And it's really cool and to know you guys a little bit, off the public podcasting forum. I know a lot of people are excited about seeing us all here together today, and I'm sure there are probably a few people not excited seeing us all together.
Absolutely.
So we gonna entertain them too today. So
Well, listen, man. I saw Dave responding to people. I saw Ebu responding to people. Bad week for the bozos out here, man.
Yeah, man.
Bad week for the bozos.
it's tough. It's tough. It's tough, man. I saw a lot of stuff going down on the line. We did get some questions from the folks in the Discord. I'm gonna start with those first, and before we get into the regular stuff and all that.
Okay.
Just because I feel like there will be a few interesting questions. So I did hit up the Discord, and unfortunately, the first one from King of the North, he said, when are we getting James Boyd on a wrestling walkout track? Never. I'll answer that one for you. So
Easy as that.
literally on ours, James doesn't rap. And I've always messed with him from that. A question from my boy Doc. I guess I'll throw this to you guys. Too short or E40?
40 water for me.
Oh, y'all trying to get me beat up out here. That's crazy. That is wild. These are legendary figures out in this spot. Too short or E40? Oh man, Too Short. I love you. You're amazing. You're wonderful. But like 40 water, dog. Like the culture still runs off of things that he just says offhand. Like when I go to the grocery store and I see E40 breakfast burritos, I'm like, how could you not? You know what I mean? How do you go against that?
So I'm actually be the different one. I'm gonna go with Too Short here, and for me, E40 was a learned language, literally, and
Legit.
I didn't know what he was rapping about for the longest time, and it just for me, I had to learn that E40 wasn't whack. I just didn't understand him like that. So
Yeah.
that it
Yeah.
took me
Yeah.
a while to like.
He's an acquired taste.
Right. So, I think actually, I don't know if you guys are familiar with on Netflix, ironically, we were talking about a couple minutes ago, the hip hop, I forgot what it's called.
Evolution.
Hip hop evolution. Yeah. It's like a 4-part documentary to go through all the major cities. In that Oakland episode, I learned a lot about E40, and then I just kind of learned to recontextualize them, in that sense. Another question from Doc. He said, is Cody the G-Eazy of wrestling? That is sick.
Listen, I mean, the quote today did not help my guy, but
We will, yeah.
that quote today did not help him.
Uh,
But the thing is, Cody can actually wrestle. The jury's out on whether G-Eazy can actually rap. So I won't let you guys put that kind of allegation on him just yet.
Shout out to Miss J. Doom, $10 super chat. She says, "Love seeing my two favorite pods together. Appreciate you being here."
Hey,
Appreciate it.
appreciate that. Thank you. I wouldn't go that far. I think I think Cody holds a higher place than what G-Eazy holds as a rapper. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
he looks wild in some places, but it's still like that's Cody. You know what I mean? And like I wouldn't be like that's G-Eazy. No
Right.
disrespect.
Right. Question from Rambo and Slam Pig. He said, "What is your preferred character or moral alignment for Swerve?" He said he liked his babyface run a lot, but his evil mastermind character is my personal favorite.
Um, I just feel like this guy has been itching to be heel again. I
Yeah.
mean, I think like Swerve as a babyface is fun. Like people can do the dance and like do like the chant and everything, but it's just something about this guy when he's in his bag and when he's doing stuff like he's been doing for the last 2 weeks. When he told that kid the other day, "Your mama boy," I was like, he been waiting. He been waiting.
Look, y'all. Reg, go ahead.
Yeah, no, it's this hill stuff is ready. I think like I was watching last night. I'm like, it's not all the way there because there's still people that are clapping and excited for it, and I'm ready for him to really lay into it because I know what he's capable of. But exactly what he was giving up last night of being like, I'm tired of y'all disrespecting me. It's time for me to show y'all who I am.
I had a talk with Swerve a long time ago, like years before he was anything close to a main eventer, right? And I remember like hearing from him, he was like he always thought he needed to be a heel to break through.
Yeah.
And all that. And I told him, I was like, you're going to make it to the top as a babyface. So in a way, we were both kind of right.
Definitely.
I personally, the way I see wrestling as far as like, because I look at it like there's a business aspect to it. There's like a legacy kind of aspect to it. I like baby faces, and I think he does a great job as a baby face and all that. But I can understand the creative drive behind being a heel because when he got hot, it was as a heel, and he was saying borderline uncomfortable things in AEW, like I'm gonna be the first black champion, which not everybody was always receptive to, and in a way endeared him to a lot of people. And then on the other side, it was like, hold on, like you're saying you're doing too much. And I think if he can get people uncomfortable again,
Yes.
that's where he's going to have to that's where he'll tap into this hero character, because as you mentioned, Reg, people are still going to cheer him because he's a star at this point. So
He looks cool.
It's not going to be boo, we hate you or anything like that. Like it's going to have to like take people just and adjust them slightly. Like as far as like thinking they see what's coming. No, you don't see what's coming.
And dynamics are so different too, because like people love Kenny Omega, but then there's a legion of fans that don't like Kenny Omega that'll cheer for Swerve for doing something like that. So it's a larger conversation of like heels as a whole, and will there ever be a truly heat seeking heel? Because like Max gets cheered, like no, whatever heel you can name, they all get cheered. And will there ever be one that truly gets booed for what they do?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know. I think I saw when he cut the promo on Max in that episode, and then the way he wrestled Kevin Knight on the episode close to that as well. I was like, yeah,
It's on the way.
I was like, this guy will be heel very, very soon. It was just very apparent to me, and it's just something about the promos and stuff he cut to the heel. It's just a different energy, man.
It is.
Question from Sissy Blade. Rich Lad, a secret embassy member ally. Of course. What do you think? Like,
It's pretty apparent. You're out loud with it.
Yeah. Take Hazy says, what wrestling themes has Reg done that weren't used? What's the best one?
I mean, the Brian Keith one is my favorite one. I'd say that one because it's only used like 2 times or something.
Yeah.
You know? Like that one, like I like that song. Like I listened to that. I'm like, me and Rich got to have a good time. Like it felt like this was gonna be the one, and then like it just. And I keep telling people, I said no Apple lyrics at all, so we could change this to a different song right now, brother.
Yeah.
The same lyrics and everything, because I knew this bad Apple thing wasn't gonna be forever. But like that's definitely the one.
Yeah, I love that song too, and I've been fortunate with the Marina Shafir theme that has really caught wind again, caught like another life. But yeah, that Brian Keith song is like when Ruckus said it to us, I was sitting on it for a little bit. I was like, damn, Reg went hard, and then like I was like, what am I gonna do with it? And I was just like, all right, I don't know what to do. And I just wrote some stuff and then recorded it. And Mikey was like, that's crazy. That's crazy. And then, like, he threw the mixing on it and kind of came up with the, the word drops and all that. And
Right.
I think it's a really dope song. So hopefully, if there's another change for Brian Keefe, maybe we can do something again.
Yeah, let's do it.
So King of the North told me to ask Phil when the festies are coming and if it's soon.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I seen a couple hoots on TV the other day. I was like, man, it's that kind of vibe again. Might be soon.
It is that kind of vibe again, for sure.
Question from Seth Rich Rogan. He said, question for all of us. Best AEW match that you think doesn't get enough praise. In the reverse, the least favorite, highly acclaimed AEW match. That's a tough one.
Yeah, that is.
Because sometimes I think the matches in AEW, they do get properly contextualized, especially like when I'm looking, especially with AEW, is like obviously it's been an affront to so many people's existence. So I feel like the people that actually kind of know this thing do a good job with talking about, okay, this was ranked here, this is what we felt here, this is this here. I guess I was live in the building for this one. I'll go with a least favorite, highly acclaimed AEW match, and I will preface this with they were going crazy at the end of it, right? But I remember just being in the building and I was just looking around. I was like, what's happening? And everybody was like, what's happening? Nothing's really happening here. I'll go with the dog collar match with CM Punk and MJF.
Oh, controversial takes. Actually,
I was in the building. Y'all were there too, right?
You were there. We were there.
I wasn't there for that one.
Oh, you weren't there?
Yeah,
I was
Phil
there.
didn't go. Yeah, I remember y'all
Will.
came. We kicked it after. Yeah.
Wow, controversial take. Rich Lotta out the gate. Yeah. I mean, CM Punk was crying now for what I did off of backs of that, so that match sits high for me. Like it's up there for me, brother. I can't even think of a match that's highly touted that I'm like, that match sucked. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I feel like I like the Four Pillars match more than most people, and I don't really understand. I didn't really understand the hate for it afterwards. Like, I like the build. The build had its issues, but I thought the match itself was really good.
That was a really good match. That's kind of an underrated one too. Like the underrated ones, I'm thinking of all Darby Allin matches, and I'm like, are they though? Because like they're all very highly rated matches.
I'll go with another one as far as like best AEW match that you think doesn't get enough praise. Konosuke Takeshita versus Kenny Omega. People just act. That one came and went for people, and I was like, they went crazy out there. Yeah. And then it was just like, I guess maybe it was the lack of follow up for it. I saw a highlight clip of it the other day, and I was like, yeah, they went nuts. And I'm talking about the one at All Out 2023.
The one with the super Blue Thunder bomb.
Yeah. And I believe like Kenny had like the DDT gear on. It was like that
match is fire. That match is super fire.
Yeah. I mean, the match that I think is underrated because nobody talks about it because of what happened afterwards is, of course, Mox versus Punk, because that is an actually good match, but nobody talks about it. Because
no one ever talks about that match.
Everybody talks about the press conference afterward, but the match itself was good.
Yeah, I remember Punk was like just walking around. It was like a walking brawl kind of, and it was like there was some shortcuts that he did, but I felt like it all kind of worked that night. But as you mentioned, just Men in Black flashy thing, all that just immediately.
What match did it happen? Nope, there was just a fight afterwards.
Question from 97 aka, what are Reg and Phil's thoughts on the people who claim Swerve is not black?
Oh.
Well, said person that did that is a very clear hater, and I just think people gotta stop hating. I mean, look, if you just don't like Swerve, like, you don't have to like everybody. Everybody has their reasons for not liking a wrestler, but just trying to gatekeep blackness and discredit his accomplishments is whack. Like, I'm not here for none of that.
As people who have existed in we like pro wrestling, you guys. Yeah. Like, we've existed in a space on this side and been talked about like that when like I could not be blacker. You know what I mean? I got dreads. I'm dark. I'm like, I'm not black, you know what I mean? And like Swerve is the exact same thing. Like whatever agendas you have, I always like we can go there. Like what happens when the police is pointing the gun at you? Are you black or not? And that's a black man, and it's gonna end the same way that it ends for a lot of black people. So when we start to get to this, I don't like this fool, so they're not that. I don't get down with that. And then to be like this white man is blacker, like.
Yeah.
What game are we trying to play here? Dude?
Yeah, no thanks.
I don't want to play this game.
It's nasty work going on.
They're just really bad agendas, and at this point, I don't really even have words for these people. I'd almost rather just fight at this point. Like, and that's just me. Like, I'm not trying to reason with you no more. I'm not trying to talk it out. I want no parts of it. I'm ready to get ignorant. If it needs to go this way at this point. So, I kind of just. I try not to even respond to any of this stuff. So, but I think these people need a lot of therapy, and they need to talk it out, in a mirror or something, figure it out.
And the list that they're talking about, this guy continuously is like, he's talking about the BW 500. That's a different list, my brother. Keep my name out of it. Every time he's like, but then he did this with this. I'm like, leave me out of your agendas, brother. I don't. Yeah. That doesn't fly with me. Swerve, I'll tell you guys, Swerve has been like, "What's this list shit too?" Because he's like that. But I'm like, I'm putting you on there because you're number one. Fool, what are you gonna do about it? Like sometimes when people try to relate these, I'm like, a lot of wrestlers have told me, black wrestlers that you like, what is this? Like they contest it because they don't like this list shit either. You just gotta force them into it. I don't know what's going on here. It's like it's either one or two things: force them in or leave them off. That's all you got here, dog. I don't know what you want from me.
It's it's certain stuff that I will refrain from saying on a podcast or on Twitter because, as I said when we talked about the Raheem thing, I just don't think every conversation is for everyone. Some conversations need to stay in a group chat and they need to stay among us.
But Phil, Randy said he can say it, dude. It's fine.
God,
Randy said he can say it.
I just think we gotta be careful about conversations we're having in front of people, and that's what's kind of nasty about saying that this guy is not black, because you'll allow somebody that's not black to be comfortable to say that because they just don't like him or they don't like AEW, and that's why I'm like, you gotta be careful with stuff like that. Like just because you don't like the guy, like that's just dumb.
Yeah, I think it's a he's got multiple strikes against him. Like when you think about it, defied WWE by happening to get fired from there, apparently,
Yes.
So, and then go and be a success on your own. Be black. Be vocal about it. Be vocal about how he feels about the industry and everything like that. And a lot of strikes. And if anybody's built to handle it, it's him. So
absolutely,
yeah.
Another question, Brandon Van Candia. How long do you think it'll take for Swerve to overtake MJF as the most interesting / important heel in AEW? And has it happened already? From Spirit of Jazz.
I don't know. It might not take that long because, like I said, when we got that promo of the night, he jumped on MJF in the build before World's End. I was like, might have something here. All the way to the point that I was like, are we going to just do this one-on-one match? Because this feels like a money feud. What are we doing? Like,
I'd like to see it.
With them both being heels now, I don't know if we're
going to get we're about as far as we're going to get from it now.
Yeah,
huh?
So I would say I think they will have very interesting and different dynamics because I think MJF is probably on his best behavior at the moment. Because there's a lot of forces I feel like working against MJF. So it's like he's got the pressure of how his last title reign went. He's got a radically different landscape in AEW with just so much competition around. It's like you want to put your best foot forward. Yeah. So I think MJF is going to continue to do good work and very kind of structured things. It is going to be interesting to see who will continue to work with him. Or stuff like that. And with Swerve is so kind of, I feel, versatile.
Yes.
You put him with Brody King. I think what he's going to do with Brody King is going to be different than with what MJF did with him. So there's going to be a direct, comparison right there for however people want to feel about it. You start with the big Kenny Omega turn. in the heel promo last week. He's off to the races. I don't know how long it'll necessarily be, but going at this rate, at the minimum, you've got two great heels at the top of your company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, having the opportunity, having the same amount of opportunities as Max is what'll get Swerve to overtake it. But I just don't know if he will be afforded those opportunities because Max is like kind of given free reign, it feels, to kind of dictate where his things are going to go. But I think Swerve, if he kind of gets into what we've been talking about and kind of really hones in on it, he's on his way to being up there. But Max is just afforded so many opportunities. It's going to be hard for anybody in AEW to really overtake him as the number one heel just because of where he lands.
Yeah, that quarter 5 is going to be on lock.
Right.
Just like that.
Absolutely.
But so another question for Rambo Slam Pig. He says, Swerve, Ricochet, and a good portion of the Don Callis family have already achieved that. The question is if he was responding to another person, if TK feels that way or not. Let's see.
Yeah.
From Chloe, question: if Reg and Phil had to choose one wrestler from outside of AEW to join the company, who would they choose?
He keep telling everybody on every podcast that he wants to stay. He wanted to retire. His neck's hurting. Like, I don't know. Why do you guys tease in AEW? I never wanted to go there. I'm AJ Styles. I don't know what you're doing to us, AJ Styles, but leave us alone. My number one answer has been and will be for a long time. I don't know what his health thing is. It's always going to be Kevin Owens / Kevin Steen. He's always like that energy is AEW. I don't care what he is, what he's done, like the spirit of what this company is. He built this, and I need to see it at least one time. But it's health first,
Yeah. Yeah. Before all of this stuff, we got our hopes up for AJ. I won't say AJ.
That son of a gun.
I keep saying it's Finn. Like, I don't know why Finn is still over there. Why are you still in this sinking ship of Judgment Day? Why are you still doing these things? Why are you still allowing them to put you in the pay-per-view right before WrestleMania and everybody knows you're not going to win?
It's tough.
He was close to being out of that contract too. I don't know what happened there. It's Finn Balor. I want Finn Balor out of that company. I don't know why he's still there.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even think of anybody, honestly, because AEW is so loaded. Like, I was there the other week, and I just looking to my left, and Tomohiro Ishii is just sitting there, and it's just like, all right, man, like this is overkill at this point. As far as just like everybody that I really want to see. A lot of the WWE roster, they're older guys who I feel like I've already kind of seen their careers, and it's not like they're not ascending. So like for me, I guess maybe it would be somebody under the radar, like bring like a young prospect, like a Kendall Gray, someone like that I keep, seeing through clips, or a Sol Ruka, something like that, who would fit right in, you
don't watch Evolve?
Style. Unfortunately not. Only through clips. So
Well, man, I know you be having Tubi on at home.
Oh man, I do have Tubi. Man, Tubi be having some great stuff on there, bro. And it'd be like, I'm here paying for Netflix. I'm paying for whatever, Peacock, all the services. I'm like, man, I go to Tubi. I'm like, man, I got all the '90s movies on here. What's up?
I know Tubi is recommending Evolve to you, Rich. Just click on it one time. It wants you to watch. It wants you to watch.
Sick. Disgusting. So my man, the Great Devil, $10 super chat, say crazy. Got to catch a replay because I'm traveling for work on the East Coast. I knew it was going to be cold, so I got the Grapsody hoodie under the coat. Then y'all are here on ONR. The stars aligned. Shout out to my man Dev.
Yeah, again, I live on the West Coast. I don't know nothing about that. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah, man. Question from Trish. She says, do you feel the likes of Trick Williams and Obafemi will be able to break the glass ceiling in WWE, or will it be business as normal?
I think Oba has the best chance of doing it. I know people keep trying to tell us Trick is a star, but again, you can put him in all these positions. You can keep telling us he's a star, but until you book him like a star, I'm not going to believe it. And I think, like I said, Oba is different. Oba's got the look. He can wrestle. And I keep saying they have the most vested interest in making a success story out of him because of the NIL program. And out of anybody from that NIL program, he's got the most potential to be a top guy. So yeah, I think that Oba can't break the glass ceiling. I do think people are going to have to be patient though. I think people that think he's going to come straight up and run through everybody and win Royal Rumble next year and all that. I just think people got pumped their brakes.
Yeah, he's the one that I've continuously said if they don't do it with Oba, this is the test right here. Like we've seen people come up, we've seen guys that are talented. Swerve was there. Like if they don't do it with Oba, then they're not gonna do it. So like this is probably the best test we'll ever see.
I think the one question I have about Obafemi, and maybe it's I don't know if it's out of turn to say this, what's up with the accent thing? And like, are we gonna like eventually is he gonna use his natural voice? Is he gonna carry the gimmick accent for the rest of his days? Like they gotta figure like that out just for me just thinking about it, right? Aside from that, I do like his prospects a little bit better than Trick Williams, but as Phil mentioned, this is going to be a process with either of these guys.
Yeah.
Like when I think about WWE, as I mentioned a couple minutes ago, all those older guys are still locked in. They've been around for years and years. They're not going anywhere. And in WWE, it moves at a glacial pace for a reason. They don't beat these people. So like the best that you can hope for with these guys is like just slow and steady kind of. And Paul Levesque hasn't shown a propensity to necessarily push people that look like Trick Williams or Obafemi. So if this was Vince, I actually would feel more confident under Vince. And I'll just say that. And but I like what Trick's doing as far as like his media run and the promos and stuff like that. But there's also going to be the jury out on Trick too, as far as there is a working standard that WWE likes to adhere to. And, when you get into having to headline those major shows, I think Trick's wrestling is going to be, that'll be what his opportunity to try to break through. I have much more confidence in Obafemi as a wrestler.
Yeah.
But like I said, the accent thing and like, is he a gimmick performer the whole time? I don't know.
That was the funniest few days of Twitter when that clip of Dave was going around where Dave was saying they should let him wrestle as little as possible and accentuate what he does well. And people were getting mad, and I was like, but he's right. Why are people mad at him? This is what they do all the time over there. They accentuate people's strengths. Like it's a go-to in wrestling, not just in WWE. And that's not to say that Trick can't wrestle. But like that's not Trick's strength at the moment. It's his look, it's his charisma, it's everything else.
Entrance.
And the entrance. So I don't know why people got so mad at Dave for saying that, but that was a funny few days.
And they keep forgetting with how the program and the system's running now. These guys are still pretty fresh. They've only really worked in Florida, and like they're still kind of adjusting to being wrestling on the biggest stage. So when they're trying to push everybody to the stratosphere and like Oba's got to be world champion, I'm like, I hear you, and we do need that, but we do also have to let these guys develop. Like the Javon Evans thing was like what's happening with indie wrestling, and like if he had 5 more years on indie wrestling, he'd be even better than I think he's going to be. Like he's gonna get there, of course, because he got it. He's that guy. But like there's no more development because we're watching it all on our damn TVs. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's that arms race thing. So like thinking about, and I'll loop Javon into this question as well. They've kind of like subtly told us what they think about Javon already through, their back channel reporting and stuff like that. And he's going to have to break through preconceived notions of like, he's much more in line with, what would be an AEW wrestler, like as far as like his athleticism, his flying and stuff like that. So they're going to have to get like the Kevin Nash thing, as I saw you guys drop a thing like that. There's just a lot of old mentalities that he's going to have an even harder challenge than Trick or Oba, because just from the body, there's a lot for him to figure out.
He's in the same category as Melo to me, where you could tell straight away Melo's our kind of wrestler. He does like all the flippy stuff. He can wrestle. He's the kind of guy we like. Trick's the guy that they as a company want to push. Like, and Oba is their he's their homegrown guy. Like, it's just a difference. Like, these are two very indie wrestlers. Like, they're gonna have to get through like a lot of like the obstacles in front of them. And it's not the fans, because the fans like Javon. The fans like Melo. It's just some of the stuff backstage. And there's no way you're gonna tell me like, Yeah, Nash said some of that stuff, and it was like, that's kind of crazy. But
like he's just acting alone in
but
this.
the
Yeah.
He's
people that
rogue.
Nash is friends with, like, it's no way that I don't believe that some people back there might not also feel the same way, because that's how they talk about black performers all the time. I mean, that's why it took so long for Kofi to get his moment. That's why it took so long for other guys to get their moments.
Mr. Bojangles, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Filth. just
Filth, yes.
Filth.
Question from OG Jimbo Johnson. He said, "Ask Righteous Reg why he tried to gaslight me into thinking Timothy Thatcher is a good wrestler."
Wait, hold on a minute. Wait a second.
He said you in particular, just you. You did this.
Okay, my homie. Let me see. Are you caught up on Tim Thatcher on the aforementioned 2B version of Evolve Wrestling? Because if you are, then you can't blame that on me. Don't put that on me. This is something going on over there. You know what I mean? Like I think like. See, there's some wrestlers that I've described before that are up close and personal wrestlers, my homies. You go to an indie wrestling show and you're right there. I can see Tim Thatcher. I can hear him. I can feel him. He feels like that. You're watching him on Tubi. It's probably not going to
How
be.
close are you to the ring? What's going on?
You can feel him.
Let
me get my shit off.
What that mean, right?
It's not the same watching it on Tubi, is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Oh,
King of
man.
North, also King of North too. To piggyback off this, as Reg of Tim Thatcher is actually British.
Timothy Thatcher's from Sacramento, California, you guys. And this is not me breaking news. This is no news.
King of North says Denise got Reg watching Evolve on Tubi. That's crazy.
I haven't seen it. I was on Tubi too, trying to get my training day on, and I was like, oh, damn, there's wrestling on here too.
Bro, I just can't even imagine that. You sitting at home in the dark and it's got like that yellow glow from the Tubi screen. Tubi, and then it's like, hey, would you like to watch Evolve? No.
Turn this off. Unplug
What else
the
y'all
TV.
got? What else y'all got?
Unplug the TV. It might just auto start or something. Like, nah, man. Let's.
Yeah, no, you know how the algorithm be doing that. You know what I mean? You watch an old episode of Clarissa Explains It All or something, and they're like, nah, you want to watch this WWE Evolve show? And I'm like, nah,
Yeah,
dog. Or you wait,
straight.
you know, sometimes you you fall asleep while the show's playing. You wake up, and I'm like, what is going on my TV? You guys take this back.
What is Nikita Lyons doing on my screen?
I'm saying, dog.
Bro. They got a few hoopers over there on Evolve.
Yeah.
I just
1,000%.
know what they're doing over there and not on like NXT or like the regular show.
Like my homeboy's probably about to be on there. Starboy Charlie, shout out to him getting an opportunity. You know what I mean? I'm not mad at it.
So let's move forward. Thank y'all for the questions. Appreciate y'all sending those in. Good way to break the ice.
Absolutely.
But yeah, man, this 50 Cent T.I. thing, man. You know, we know y'all talk about the rap. We do the same thing over here, and I figured this is like I was waiting. I was telling Reg, I was like, there's gonna be something that happens. We'll put it on the list. I'll just monitor it throughout the week. This 50 Cent versus T.I. thing is like gone from this potential versus match, which people were kind of discussing in their own way as far as like, oh, who do you think would have more songs, or who did you like more at their peak, different stuff like that. And this has evolved into flat out war. Minutes before we went on air, Domani jumped into this and dropped the song.
Domani.
Damn.
Domani, the peaceful one that raps like J. Cole, he is now dissing 50 Cent.
Domani's kind of dope too. I'm gonna have to check that
Yeah.
out. I just listened to the fourth. You guys count them fourth T.I. diss for 50, and I was like, what's going on here? Like it went when he was with his family and his mom, and they're at dinner.
Hey.
His mom's kissing him on the cheek. I was like, you know what? This is too much. Too much for me.
I thought it was very funny, and as somebody that likes shenanigans sometimes, I was like, "Oh no, this is hilarious." We did like the glass
I got
clink
everything
with
you
Tiny,
don't have.
and then he had his wife over there by his side. Like we don't have to get into any of the extracurriculars with him and Tiny and like them being still together. Extra, like his
that's
mom
extra.
is there, both his kids was there. I was like, "Nah, it looked like T.I. is winning." I've never
winning.
seen 50 this happy, but.
Wow. His kids don't even like him like that. His 50 Cent's son be so mad at him. Yeah, when they zoomed out and King's munching on the side, I'm like, nah, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the thing is, I have to give T.I. a lot of credit, man, because a few weeks ago it was looking crazy for my guy. He
Yes.
still had the dreads. He had that comedy special, and people were like, "Nah, this isn't it." He wouldn't cut them dreads. He put out the record.
To let them know.
Produced by Pharrell. That's actually hard. I was
Hard.
like, wait a minute. I was like, and then like the first 2 diss tracks, I was like, wait a minute. Nah, this is T.I.
This is
Remember.
him.
This
This
is
And
is
him.
so-
this is the real tip.
Yeah, this is him. But the thing is, boy, I hate to break it to people if they have not figured this out already. 50 Cent is going to ignore all of this. He's
Yeah,
not
absolutely.
getting in any booth. He's not responding to any of this. He does not care. He's going to continue to troll on Twitter. He's going to continue to troll on IG. He do not care.
And should he, has been my question, Phil. Like, should he care? Like, will the pressure of everybody being like, get in the booth, does that matter to him
Well,
at this point?
This is funny because one of our long-standing debates at this point is I don't think you can do this. I don't think you can say one person has to respond, but then also when it becomes other people, the rules are different. And I think people are applying different rules to 50 because it's 50.
Yeah.
50 should respond because this is T.I. And
Yes.
if you're going to say T.I. is not in his weight class, no. T.I. is a legend.
1,000% in
in
his
his
weight
weight
class. Yeah.
T.I. is a legend, and the only people I see saying he's not in his weight class are New Yorkers, because like, oh well, was T.I. even that dope? And we're not gonna do that.
We're not going to do that.
That guy had a
No.
run, bro. He had a run. I'm not trying to hear none of that. That guy had a
I
movie.
think that's an interesting thing that you bring up, because a lot of this 50 Cent and T.I. thing has been wrapped in East Coast versus South
Yes.
Yes.
thing that people have wanted in one way or another for 25 years, and T.I. being essentially the face of Southern rap or whatever. I wouldn't call 50 the face of New York rap. That like
I
he's
wouldn't
not
say
gonna
that.
get no.
No,
I'm
I
an East
wouldn't
Coast
say
guy
that.
by nature, but I'm rolling with T.I. because
Yeah.
I've been fortunate to live pretty much all over the country, and it's great that you guys are on here kind of like different spots. So there's no Reg doesn't give a fuck like who.
Yeah.
Who would come out on top here? He doesn't have
No.
so and,
No.
Phil's from Chicago, so like it's like just seeing this, like I think the people want this badly, and the debate between them has they're very similar artists in a sense, like coming from the streets and mixtape runs and stuff like that, but T.I. just had a longer run.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and I don't think people are cognizant of this. And I had a conversation with James a few weeks ago, kind of about T.I.'s general legacy. And T.I. hasn't really spawned like the next T.I.'s. Like the people from Atlanta are like, you can see the Gucci Mane tree. You can see people, like
Jeezy
Future,
Tree.
Jeezy tree. Like you,
can
see all
the
those
Thug
other
tree
things.
and like
Thug,
people that
like,
the Future
Wayne,
Sons.
all
Yep.
that stuff. You can see all this, but T.I.'s influence didn't go the same way. So like, I think there's an interesting debate kind of to be had about T.I. being possibly one of the most underrated rappers of all time.
Yes.
And I think he wants this badly with 50. Like as far as like some he's always wanted to check it off his list as far as like, taking the New York thing and stuff like that. And then just from the battle essence of it, we all know what T.I. did to Lil Flip. So, if he can get 50 to step in the ring, I know Phil thinks it's not possible. It's only going to be so long before one of these things go. And almost, I don't even necessarily feel like I need to hear these dudes rap with one another at this point. I feel like T.I. is a better rapper, all that stuff. I just want to hear them talk at the end of the songs to each other. That's what I want to hear. Y'all niggas is insane. Like both of them.
I think there's a reason that when this began, T.I. was calling out like Hove. You know what I mean? Like when he was like, I want to do this versus thing and I want to go against a giant. He didn't start out with 50 Cent. It took some steps to get to 50 Cent because I think he said Hove and then he might have said Wayne after that. I'm like, there was a reason he got to 50 Cent. And I understand. They both had gigantic runs. I'm clouded because like in my brain, I'm like, In the Club is so annoying. Like it reached heights, but like the way that where it is and how people treat it, I hate it so much that I'm just like, if that's your biggest hit, you lost to me. But it's not. It's about more than that. Like, and then I started thinking, like, say they did have the verses. 50 Cent don't got one friend. Like, can he use G Unit Records? He don't like none of these guys. So would he
You
use?
can't play Hate or Love It.
That's what I'm saying. Is he gonna use the Hate It or Love It? Is he gonna use the Bank Records? Like, what's going on here?
he can still use stuff from Beg for Mercy. Like he still get along with Yayo and Lloyd Banks. He just don't get along with Young Buck, I don't think. But
he gonna play Candy Shop?
See, he got too many.
He did have a monster run, one of the craziest runs we've ever seen in hip hop history. I know people counted this as his debut album. It's not his debut album.
No.
Yeah.
But people would account that as his breakout album, Get Rich or Die Trying. Like that's his big joker. But the thing is, for Smash Brother players, you know this. That's like his Falcon Punch. He's got these things like in the club sitting there where he can throw that out, and people think that's the instant win for him. No, T.I. has a better discography than him. And I somebody was like, I don't know about all that. I know about that. I was outside when trap music hit. I was outside when Urban Legends hit. That guy had a run of 3 or 4 albums that did not miss.
Right.
50 don't have that.
Yeah.
And massive hits, Phil. Like he would come out and there'd be 4, 5, 6 of them. That in California, people are playing these records out of their car. Like I'm feeling like I'm a part of their culture because of how huge T.I.'s run was.
And he's on songs that people forget he's on.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think a lot of people forget he's on the Robin Thicke record. You know, I'm sure that they don't want to talk about that record.
They want you to forget.
That they have to continue to pay Marvin Gaye.
But that was a mess. That, right?
No, don't play that. Don't play that.
But I mean, he's on that record. He's on a few songs where I think
Justin Timberlake.
He's on the Drake record, You Fancy. I think people forget all the time he's on there.
That's a huge record.
That's what I'm saying. He's got more of those than people think, man. And when people are like, he doesn't have anything that can compete with 50, I'm like, no, he's absolutely got better records with Justin. Like, it's not even close.
Yeah.
He's also like an infinitely better live performer than 52.
Yeah.
It wouldn't even, like, people would be in for a real rude awakening. Like, and it would be, you know, I think 50 would be wise to, like, continue to back away from this as much as he can. But
there's not really
T.I.'s challenging him the old school way, though. It's like, there's only going to be so many songs you drop about me.
Every time Phil brings up AO technology, I just laugh because I know that's what you're hinting at.
Nah, dog. You put that on. You work the pole. I work the pole. That ain't getting him up out of here, dog. That's not getting T.I. up out of here, dog.
Amusement park ain't gonna work for you?
No. I don't think it's anything off that album that's working for you, dog. Keep that one in the tuck, dog. That's not doing it for you. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think he's ever gonna respond. I don't think this versus is ever gonna happen.
No.
I was kind of looking around at one point, like, wait, versus is still happening? People.
That's where I was starting. Now I'm like, what's that?
And
they've kind of relaunched like under like Apple Music now, and it's like there's like a new ever since that Cash Money No Limit one, they're trying to push it forward again.
Nah.
Would you guys rather to see like the versus or the battle?
The battle.
Yeah.
The battle.
Yeah. I want the battle. We're not getting the battle though.
No.
And it's funny because T.I. has like kind of a checkered history with verses because of course at one point they wanted him to do the verses with Bus, and Buster was. That's when we got the video of him like, man, you over here in the suit talking to us. It looked like you going to court, nigga. We got that. We got him trying to challenge other people, and they completely just dubbed him. I think the verses we were supposed to get, and it would have been perfect for T.I. It was T.I. and Luda. It was right there.
Yeah. T.I. and Luda was the one.
That was the one. They're about the closest to each other in weight class. That like they have like very similar careers. I think Luda's extremely underrated, like T.I. is. And I never felt like Nelly was a good competition for Luda. When they announced it, I was like, oh, Luda's cleaning him up. So when that went the way it did, I was like, why are you guys surprised? I knew this was gonna happen.
I would take a T.I. Jeezy one too if you want to keep it Atlanta. But yeah. As you mentioned, like Luda obviously is there for him, and you could do any of the Atlanta folks. 50 is kind of in it, you know. Actually, I'll bring it back to Busta Rhymes. Busta Rhymes is a weird one because he debuted so early and then kind of had this career of these like singles. He's not really thought of as an album artist, and also like do you match him against a street rapper? It's kind of weird. Do you match him against a super commercial person like a Nelly or something? I think Nelly and Busta actually, now that we come to
Bus cleaning Nelly up,
but like Bus is weird. Bus is a weird one. I would like that's if this was boxing, like you stay away from a Busta Rhymes. Like, we don't fight him. Like there's no gain. Like if you beat him, it really doesn't mean anything. But he's probably gonna get you out of there.
Yeah, they got to match Nelly up with like Flow Rider or something, like somebody like that had those kind of other kind of hits. You know what I mean? But this concept, when it left off of Instagram, like they'll never be better than like Premier and RZA doing a beat for beat. Like I can't.
Yeah.
I mean, like it peaked with Locks and Dipset, and like, do we need verses as a concept after that? That was it. That was the golden run right there.
Yeah. Did you guys happen to see the Mike Will Made and the Hit Boy one?
Oh, I didn't see any of that one.
Yeah, that one was probably like a month ago, and it was in L.A. And Mike Will Made it just blew the doors off of Hit Boy. It was bad for him.
What did Hit Boy? When I heard it announced, I was like, Hit Boy got some. He could definitely. He shouldn't be getting blown out of the water. Like what happened there?
Bad song selection, and then like Mike Will Made it just his 808 just like
he got them large ones.
Destroyed him. Like and it was just like
he got.
It was just like
he is working with Miley Cyrus. Like it's hard to.
I know you just brought up Miley Cyrus, so when I say this is not related at all. His beats just had more ass in them, like like so like it just like it moved the crowd in a different way.
No relation, you guys. No relation.
No relation at all. If you couldn't tell. But yeah, man, let's move forward, man. So AJ Styles on Monday Night Raw came out and basically they played like this really nice tribute to him. I think they used a Creed song, and it was like "Don't Go There." Like I don't know the one that it is, but y'all know what it is. I don't know the name of it. But y'all know what it is.
Oh, go
it fit perfect for him. And I saw some people was just saying this is just perfect. And I actually liked the video package, this one more than the Cena one that they did.
No, it was great. It was really
no Vince in this one. So like, there's that. Shout out to Shadow. X641 Scary Movie 6 trailer looks fire.
Oh, that dropped.
Super chat.
Yeah, I want to see that.
I saw the Mortal Kombat 2 trailer.
Hey, the Mortal Kombat 2 trailer looked hard, though. Yeah, I was like, Street Fighter, y'all was talking trash on stage against this?
Crazy.
Y'all about to get blown out the water.
Brenville, okay, Higher by Creed. Can you save me high? Okay, yeah. So they do that, and they bring AJ out. He cuts a nice promo with his wife in the front row. And then the Undertaker comes out, and it's like, he gets the huge entrance. He's riding a motorcycle to the ring. They're playing American Badass, and I'm like, oh shit, this thing is about the Undertaker now. He gets in the ring, and it seems like they ambush AJ Styles by telling him he's going into WWE Hall of Fame immediately.
Do you think that is it because it was 2 TNA? You think they're like, we gotta get some of us out here. Like we can't have Abyss and Petey Williams and God, you know what I mean? Like we gotta get some boys out here. Send Big Take out there. Is that why you think it is? Or Undertaker has become the what did they say? The reverse Grim Reaper, like imparting Hall of Fame news. I never knew. Oh my God, what are you doing out here?
I never knew.
Yeah. Yeah, as far as that, AJ's a great worker. He feigned surprise well there. And, he popped up on the podcast with the Good Brothers and all that, saying he's done. Like, he's saying his neck is laid down. He's probably going to work backstage. They obviously put him in the Hall of Fame. They're going to keep him under contract a little longer and probably work on some type of, some contract to make sure he doesn't go anywhere else or whatever. But
wrestlers have never lied. I just
say
that never, not once.
Right, and just I did get weird vibes all throughout this retirement thing with how it was done in Saudi Arabia. He mentioned he wanted to take the gloves off in America. I thought it was weird that his friends and family weren't there for his last match. They set it up in Atlanta, which was a smart move, I'd say. But what do you guys overall kind of thoughts on AJ Styles' career, if this is really it for him?
It's just this weird disconnect of like the way 2025 ended for AJ and then the start of 2026. And so it feels like it happened really fast. Cause I mean, if you go back a few months ago, he was in that tag team with Dragon Lee. And then it was like, all right, this is the end. This is the end. get to the Nakamura match, the Nakamura match was way better than I ever expected it to be. The Punk match, and then a really good match with Gunther at Royal Rumble, but it's like you're going to do AJ Styles' last match with the company not in the United States? And that in itself was weird, him not taking his gloves off, and all of the reports around it, it seemed very clear that a lot of people in the locker room elsewhere thought he was heading over there. There was a lot of like tweets and stuff going around. I was just like, what's going on here? And so then we didn't hear from this guy for almost a whole month. And the report was his contract was up this month in February. And then they announced this tribute out of nowhere. And as soon as they announced the tribute, I was like, oh, I don't think he's going anywhere, guys. And as soon as it just popped in the back of my brain when they announced the tribute. I was like, oh, we're probably getting a Hall of Fame induction. And so when they did everything to go along with this, I mean, because this was basically the main event of Raw. Not a great episode of Raw, by the way. Main event of Raw, we got like the video package. I thought the video package was fantastic. The stuff in ring was great. But it also is very apparent to me the disconnect between what AJ Styles represents and what WWE currently is. Because he's really a wrestler's wrestler. And like all of his video package, they had to throw the TNA stuff in there. They snuck in IWGP World Heavyweight Championship.
One of the hardest photos of all time.
Yeah, snuck that in there. And I'm just like, this is different than the Cena stuff, because the thing that makes AJ is the wrestling.
Right.
And even just like the last 3 matches he got, they made a point to go, no, this is still AJ. He can still go. But like in front of that audience, it was so different. Like at certain points in the night when people were bringing up AJ, like when Punk came out there and was like, give it up for AJ. And we got like the like golf clap. I was like, yo, this is Atlanta, Georgia. Like this guy's home. What do you mean? Like, but it's just such a different crowd that goes to these shows now. This ain't
Well,
like
Yachty and Offset didn't know. Like y'all don't know about old TNA history, dog. What's going on here?
Yeah.
And I think the entire thing with AJ Styles and how it's weird. In one respect, WWE fans are very protective of AJ Styles now. They don't want him to go anywhere.
Yeah,
but he's not really. I don't identify him with WWE. I know he was there for 10 years before y'all started. I don't identify him. I identify him more as AJ Styles rather than WWE's AJ Styles. Like, and you can just look how they treated Cena. Even look, we don't want to start with the comedy of errors that Cena's retirement one was, but they acted like the world was stopping at the end when Cena was gone, and then a lot of this stuff still was wrapped up in pro wrestling business.
Yes.
Because as Phil mentioned, at this point, they working each other at this point.
Absolutely. Yeah, it feels like they're just kind of playing this game that keeps going round and round. Yeah, every time, because he's kind of like, they're so great to my legacy. I want to continue to fight the good fight for them. And I'm just like, you're not a WWE wrestler. I saw a tweet that offended me to my core yesterday or the day before. You guys might have saw it. Somebody was like, I love Daniel Bryan way more than I love Bryan Danielson. Give me a Team Hell No match way before you give me a Bryan Danielson and Nigel McGuinness match. And I'm just like, I know this is rage bait, but I am fuming. Because, like, no, dude. When people call Bryan Danielson a WWE wrestler, it hurts my feelings. Like, I'm sad about it. Like, I just like, don't say that. Don't ever say that. I don't care how long he was there. I don't care what he did. That's not what this is. And I still feel like that about AJ Styles. Had some amazing WWE moments, like the match with Roman where he does the phenomenal forearm through the announce table. Like, that shit changed my. I was like, damn, Roman is a guy. Like, he in here with AJ. The Cena match is like, he created a legacy over here, but that's not what his legacy is going to be in complete full. There's still so much TNA footage, so much early independent wrestling footage. He exists in like what I call my golden era of independent wrestling with him, Bryan Danielson, Low Key, Eddie Kingston, Homicide, like all Red, like all these guys. He was one of those guys, and I'm always going to remember him as one of those guys.
Yeah, I think to you guys' point of why you can't just be like he's a WWE guy, because I mean, some of the stuff that they did with him, other than like the John Cena feud, the Taker match, the Boneyard match that they like to always say that that's Taker's last WrestleMania match, and like a lot of things that he had at WrestleMania that aren't that great.
WrestleMania.
A lot of what a lot of the other stuff they did is his greatest hits from somewhere else. They had to do the Nakamura feud because that was from New Japan. Going back and doing the Joe feud and the Joe stuff that he did with AJ was fantastic in WWE. But like we know what Joe and AJ represents elsewhere, and that's not like a WWE product. So yeah, I it's the same for me. I don't really see him as a WWE wrestler. I think it's great that he's one of those guys that we never thought would make it there, and he managed to make it there and be as close to a top guy as humanly possible. They gave that guy a year-long WWE title run. They gave him wins over John Cena. They gave him some of the big highlights that we didn't expect this guy to get like early in his career. And I think that's awesome. And I think, what it means to him to be acknowledged by like Taker and some of like the greats in the industry. I think that's awesome for him, but yeah,
you can kind of draw a line in his career too. Like after after they take like the belt, actually pretty much after the Boneyard match, like they kind of phase him into like doing attacks with Omos, and like he's not really factored in at that level. And look at his age; he probably shouldn't have been, but you probably could have got more out of this guy last decade rather than programming him with Logan Paul or I remember last year's match with Dom Mysterio. I was like, okay, it's kind of like a finishing school for Dom Mysterio. Nothing to knock your socks off, but I was like, AJ, what we doing with AJ here? So, as you mentioned, the weird like when you look at it, and it's like Shane McMahon was his best WrestleMania match.
Best WrestleMania match is crazy.
That's a weird scenario here.
When he was like, Mania's lost his luster, I'm like, yeah, I'm sure you did feel that way. When you look at your WrestleMania resume, it ain't that great.
Yeah.
I'm like, how do you feel about Mania? He's like, I don't really like it that much.
And I saw so many people thinking he was going to make this stop in TNA. That was never happening. So, like,
I like those people getting there, feeling good and hopeful, but, like, let's keep it real, you guys. There was rumors that CM Punk was going to go to TNA, and that was the funniest shit in the world to me. And those people were serious, too. I'm like, you guys are being serious about this? That's crazy.
I guess on the other part of it, I like, the AEW run's not coming. And, while I would have welcomed seeing AJ Styles, obviously, in AEW, I don't think it's a massive like loss either, because as we mentioned earlier in the show, look at the roster.
I mean, I feel you, but it felt like we were so close to that Ospreay match.
We were so close.
I really wanted it, and it just
like, who don't want to see Ospreay wrestle his dad, man? Come on, we're so close.
We were so close to that match, and it's going to be hard to just go and act like we weren't that close. But yeah, I don't think it's happening now. I just think like the business side of it, even before he said it on Talking Shop with the Hoots, I was like, yeah, he's going in the Hall of Fame. He probably signed something. I don't see them putting him in the Hall of Fame without some assurances, because this looks crazy if you put him in the Hall of Fame in April and then like a month later he's somewhere else wrestling.
Get ready to fly.
Yeah, but I was about 100% sure after the Hall of Fame induction announcement that he had signed something. And so when we got that stuff today, I was like, yeah, he's probably.
Listen, I ain't gonna hold y'all, but I saw bald-headed HBK wrestle in Saudi. Nothing is forever. Nothing's final. And like, even if not AEW, Saudi's gonna come calling again, brother. How much money do you want?
He's gonna wrestle again for sure, because he still looks like he's in great shape.
Like, yeah.
So he's gonna wrestle again. I'm just not sure it's gonna be where we want it to be. I think it's gonna be over there.
And I'm not mad at them. They should. They want you over there. How much money
run
you
it
want,
up.
dog? Take this. Yeah, here. What you need?
Yeah.
Take my credit card.
But I mean, like I said, he had a much better WWE run than I could have ever expected for him. Like the Cody stuff like a year ago was better than I expected. He got the match in France, and that ended up being, I think it's going to go down as one of his best WWE matches, and probably one of Cody's best matches of his career. Like, you can't ask for much more than that. I think it would have been nice if he made it all the way to WrestleMania, but it didn't seem like he wanted it, especially based on his comments this week.
And then look at it like and I think why he says WrestleMania lost his luster is like, all right, those spots at WrestleMania are pretty locked in, and it's like you just got to make one more spot kind of for AJ Styles, and it's like, do I want to go on third on the show and then like have to get out the ring because you're bringing Logan Paul out here or Bad Bunny out here or something like that? It just is. I understand what he's saying. At least he got some kind of time is a flat circle kind of thing. 2016 Rumble. I get it.
I thought you're making a flat Earth thing because it was AJ Styles. I was like, damn, that was pretty.
Look at that. Look at that.
Pretty good there. But yeah, thinking in hindsight that the careers of AJ, Punk, and Bryan Danielson, guys I never would have thought of cooked in WWE, and they all cooked in WWE. So anything is possible.
Yeah, man. So let's move on, and I'm gonna bring it over to AEW real quick. I know we're up against the clock with Reg a little bit, so we'll kind of get through that. Overall, like last night, they were in Denver. Shout out to California, and got to wake up in his own bed and all that. So very underrated aspect there of this week.
Absolutely.
Insane main event, Mile High Madness, brother.
Huh?
Just a brainless classic. Like I didn't know what to expect when this match was announced. I was just like, it's like 7 guys on each team, 6 guys on each team. It seems like, and it was basically anarchy in the arena on TV.
Yeah, it basically was.
Yeah, there was like, I mean, it was a match for me. Of course, it's the Young Bucks, it's the Rascals. Like it's a Righteous Reg Invitational match. So before it even happened, I was like, oh, it's about to go down. So when it started going down, and I was like, wait, everybody's going 1,000 miles per hour, and you guys, Jack Perry, I don't know what he's on. I don't know what he's been on
in this match.
But this brother was going crazy the entire time. I don't know what's been happening, but he's locked in.
That was one of
Shout
my
out to Jack Perry.
That was one of my two takeaways from the match. I never need to see that goat mask again. I never need to see this guy doing rest holds again. No. We don't need to see this guy the heel again.
Flips.
Let's just move.
Flips. I see you, Reg.
Yes, dog. I'm like, look, this guy.
and Righteous Reg is right there.
He's moving this fast. Like, what? Take that mask off. You was driving around in that stupid ass truck, dog, and you could do this.
Yeah. Let's never go back to that time period. But the other part is, buddy, Myron Reed has arrived, man. That guy was one of the most dynamic wrestlers in the entire match. Every time he did something, he stole the show, man. Like, man, I've been waiting for this guy to get signed. I've been waiting for this guy to get his moments off like this, man. And y'all haven't even seen everything this guy can do. This isn't even like scratching the surface.
Yeah, this was everything I had hoped for. I didn't even know they was going to get the weapons involved. That bump that Cash took that he's been taking head first through the tables is like, what are y'all doing? This is crazy. This is amazing. This is what, if you watch both shows and you watched Raw this week and you watched AEW ending the show, this is how AEW does. This is the alternative. This is what they'll bring that's different than the other show.
Got a question. Yo, Reg, can you recreate the I Got Hoes rendition of Baltimore for us?
No.
Myron Reed, as you mentioned, Reg, or Phil, it seems like since his introduction, they've kind of kept him. Usually, if it's a tag, they've kept the other guys like in there, and it seems like he's kind of being protected, like further down, like as your singles guy. I think he's gonna have to switch his gear up, I think, eventually, and all that if he wants to start like moving up. But just as an athlete, this guy's incredible. Like, and sign me the fuck up. As far as other stuff on the show, Gabe Kidd got a win over Orange Cassidy. We saw the Darby Allin kind of reemergence. Obviously they've been putting him in the desert like it was a casino and all that.
Y'all saw that Darby Allin video with the Uber?
That was insane. I was like, what is happening? But the driver freaked out. I ain't never seen nothing like that, dog.
Yeah, I've seen people say it looks staged, and even if it was staged, hilarious use of an interview.
Yes. You trying to get clicks, you got clicks. It worked out for me.
Out on the highway, having to get picked up, like look, Darby Allin probably walked knowing Darby Allin.
Absolutely.
But Swerve got his first major promo now as a heel. I would have liked to see it open the show personally, but Moxley and Clone was, a really good match. Shout out to El Clone. As far as Swerve's promo, he pretty much gave his mission statement to where he was like, I had this talk with Hangman Page, and obviously before All In, and he asked me about my regrets, and I told him I did regret it, but now looking at everything that I lost and all that after that, I can't live with any regrets. So I don't know what this man's about to go through as far as what he's about to do to people. But he looks like he's locked in, and I think he's been preparing for this for a few months. And it looks like he's going to get in a program with Brody King to begin with.
Mm-hmm. And that Brody King and Mark Davis match, Mark Davis, him and Jack Perry have been drinking the same potion or something, because this guy has been going insane. These guys were throwing hammers the whole match, throwing ass at each other. It was crazy. I'm like, yo, these guys are using every part of their bodies to go through this. But yeah, I think connecting Swerve with somebody who's had so much newsworthy things happen to him the last couple weeks, and Brody King, and happening in LA, like when they announced that match on the backs of Andrade and Bandito, I was like,
yeah,
thank goodness I am going to Revolution, because those matches are crazy.
Phil, what'd you think about this promo and kind of like the prospects of Swerve as a heel going forward?
I like that this character has been consistent as a babyface and as a heel, because his whole point the entire time has been, hey, I want to be champion, whatever I have to do to be champion. Oh, I came back and it's still the same stuff. I went away, had knee surgery, and I came back and it's like, oh, this is still the guy that's at the top of the company. We're still doing this Max thing. What I got to do to show y'all that this guy ain't the guy? What I got to show y'all that Kenny old, man. I get it. Kenny did it, but he ain't the guy no more. It's me. I'm telling y'all, it's me. If I got to kill this guy and throw him through a table to let y'all know it's me.
A lot of this stuff feels kind of on the ball.
I mean,
just say it.
Tell y'all, bro.
Maybe some of this stuff is realer than y'all think.
These are real feelings that Swerve has expressed before. So, like, I was like, no, he's spitting for reals. This ain't no promo, I think.
No, I loved it. I thought the promo was fantastic. I think this is the best promo he's cut in a while. I'm glad.
And Nana, like, it immediately made me remember Embassy Nana, heel Nana. I was like, oh, we've been having fun with Nana for so long. We forget that he's a great heel manager.
It was like a light one-off. It was like a light one-off for him, and it's like, oh yeah, he can be especially valuable, like on the mic as a promo. He was just telling him to get up, like, and it was just like, hold on, where's this aggression coming from? Yep. So like, uncomfortable. That's the key here. They have to make people uncomfortable, and there are a lot of ways to do that, and especially in 2026.
I was glad that he pointed out that at this point, I've gotten rid of all the elite. This is supposedly their company, right? I've beaten all of these guys now.
Mm-hmm. I was doing some research with my boy Floyd Johnson, and I'm looking at it like, I think the only other person than Chris Jericho to beat, run the elite gauntlet, essentially. And when I say that, beat Hangman in the singles, beat Kenny in the singles, and then beat the Young Bucks in a tag, is Chris Jericho. Like, that's the only other person I think that's done it in the history of AEW.
Wow.
So this is kind of a thing if he can, like, and with Jericho's status up in the air, perhaps he can kind of hang his hat on this, as a singular achievement for a while.
And this is what Phil and I have always talked about with Swerve, is like, we just want him to be mentioned along those things. They don't, next to Chris Jericho, like, they don't have, other black wrestlers don't have these moments, aren't put in these positions to do these things, and Swerve is starting to rack up these accolades.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting, from that aspect. Thinking about, we mentioned the world title, of course. MJF and Hangman kind of locked it in. They're gonna have a Texas death, and what do you guys think about this Hangman never challenge stipulation again? Like, me and James had a spirited discussion last week on it, and throw it to you guys. Look, man, it's a lot, man. I feel like they're risking a lot from a promotional standpoint, but I don't know if it's necessarily going to be received that way.
the only thing I can think of here is the Hangman has to be winning. This is his signature match. You're doing the stipulation where he can't challenge again. I don't know in what world would that be a good idea for this guy to not be able to challenge for the world title again. That would be a massive mistake. I just don't know what we're doing if we're going in that direction. And like I said, now that it's the death match, it feels like this is Hangman's match to win. I don't know if this is kind of the way to give Max the ultimate
Scout.
the ultimate like bragging rights over Hangman, because if Hangman doesn't win, I feel like we've got to be doing a Kenny match at Dynasty, right?
I would think so. It's in Canada. That's it.
Right? Like,
It's
wow.
right there.
Yeah,
Y'all don't do it. It's going to be confusing.
Yeah, so my takeaway is either way, Max is losing his belt soon, and I feel like either Kenny is heading into All In as champion, or this tells me that Hangman might be going into All In as champion. And either way, I'm not mad at either of those options, but
I mean, I feel like Kenny doing a job last week to Swerve is kind of like a flashing light. Like, it feels like, okay, you do a big job, put somebody over. It's like you got an opponent in the future. Should they go back to that? And then as far as like Hangman, this is tough. Reg,
I hate this stipulation. It never feels good for me. We were there, Rich, when they announced it in the building, and
eerie.
Even there, I was like, "Oh God, no! I don't want this. No one wants this. Why are you saying this?" Just because,
Very eerie in the building.
right? We've seen what We've seen what happened with Cody. Everybody brings that up. It's just like I don't even want you to, because like I'm with Phil. I'm like the only logical thing is he wins now. Because like why?
Right.
I don't even want you to try to have to figure out on the end or have to do this other bit to get out of it or whatever. Because, like, why did you do this to yourself? Like, there's so many other ways you could have got into this. That just made me feel a little like people are like, this got me more interested in the match. And I'm like, I don't really, not
no.
me.
I could understand it because I felt like Heyman was very cold going into it, so it was like, oh, this threw like some gasoline on this thing where it's like, I'm interested in either one, they're going to put a belt on a wrestler we all really like, or two, they've done something like colossally terrible to this guy's career. like those are the options. Like,
yeah, I just think the big problem here is even with all of this, I still think Andrade MJF is a more interesting feud.
Yeah, definitely.
I think it's because we've seen MJF Hangman so many times, and I don't think the stipulation has done anything to really change that for me. I thought the promo last week was really good. I thought the segment this week was fine. I caught it right away that Max had a double-sided coin.
Yeah.
I was like, there's no way he would risk all of this on a coin toss. But yeah, I don't think that the Texas Death Match does anything to change it and make me feel like this match needed to happen here, especially because we're not even a year removed from the last Texas Death Match. I think we could have gone longer before we got another one.
Right, yeah. I don't think we were really clamoring for another. Not that it's going to be an amazing match. Both these guys can work, but I just wasn't really fiending for, like, when he was like, Texas Death Match, I was kind of thinking that too, Phil, of like, we just kind of saw one, though, and, like, I get that, like, that really adds heat to Max if he beats Hangman here in his own match, embarrasses him and all that, but it's just like, I didn't feel the need for all of it to happen at this moment.
Yeah, like I said last week, if Hangman loses this, it's like he's a leper. Like it's like he's just walking around. It's like you can't be the champ. So it's like some drastic got to happen from there. Like
I don't think it's a good sign either that people are like, oh, the immediate way he can get out of stipulation is by turning him heel, and I'm just like, but we didn't even get all of the juice out of a babyface turn. He just turned face less than a year ago.
Yeah.
There's that, and there's also like, obviously it feels like they cut his legs off the last time he had the belt. So
yeah,
it's like how many times are you gonna get that huge babyface moment where you win at All In and stuff like that? And then they didn't have stuff ready for him on the other side. I think we can all kind of agree to that. And I guess maybe you're looking at the landscape. Is he better off as a heel in the long run? Because we know that British guy is coming back. So
maybe, yeah.
Just I'm thinking about this from like a pro wrestling politicking standpoint. It was like, hey, I feel like the big babyface has been chosen. So, there's going to be a lot of guys scrambling to work on the other side of that, like, look at the last guy that just turned heel. Like, that's a natural opponent right there. Swerve with Ospreay, historical program right there. Hangman and Ospreay had limited history together, but it was awesome. So, like, whatever happens, I think there's a lot of intrigue on this finish, and this doesn't, like I said last week, this doesn't end March 13th.
No, not
in
at
my
all.
opinion.
Yeah. No, I think there's so much more legs to this, so much more going into it. Kenny's looming in the background. I think that there's people that kind of are under the impression that Max is going to get all the way to All In with the belt. So there's like all these different angles that
I'd be shocked if that happened personally.
I'd be super shocked.
I just don't see them running Max Ospreay again at Wembley. I mean, we've done it already. I just don't see them doing that again. And I didn't mind that match, but why? I don't see any interesting reason to run that match again.
Yeah. So Reg, I don't know if you want to bow out. Me and Phil
I gotta
hold
roll
it down
out.
a little bit.
I appreciate y'all. Good times, great memories.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you joining us, and drop your plugs, Reg.
You can find me Saturday with this guy right here, Philip Lindsey, on Grapsody Podcast, Fightful Networks. We be talking the same kind of talk and doing our thing. We also have the Grapsody YouTube page. Phil's probably going to get into some of this when he rides out of here. But yeah, Grapsody YouTube page, the watch along with Denise Salcedo if you want to hear me talk some more about AEW. Appreciate you, Rich. Appreciate you,
Absolutely.
Phil. I'm going to see y'all.
For sure. Glad to have you on here, man. We got to do it again.
Absolutely. Peace,
Hell
peace,
yeah.
everybody. Appreciate y'all for supporting.
All right, so me and Phil here, gonna hold it down as far as trying to see what else happened on the show. Oh, the big injury. It looks like Penelope Ford is okay. It's not as bad as everyone thought. That tag match kind of ended strangely in a DQ. There was like a situation where she did a moonsault to the outside of the ring, and it looks like Harley Cameron kind of skirted bent that corner wall and got out the way. And Penelope, once again, this girl is like, she's fighting through her body, just rejecting this pro wrestling thing. It seems like. What did you think about the whole discourse around this, and then the Bezos tag belts situation? It seems like the repetitive nature of what's going on here.
Yeah, I felt bad because I think Penelope has been in a spot more than once now where it felt like this was her and Megan's titles to win. And then all of a sudden something happened, she got injured, or just the timing is just off. It's a shame because like the last week we got that fatal 4-way for the TBS title, and it was great.
Yeah.
And it just gave me a glimpse again of like, this is Willow as a singles competitor. Buddy, when I tell you, I'm ready for her to just be a singles competitor, man. And that's not a complete shade to Harley. I just think she's that much better on her own. She just doesn't need this tag team. It just feels like it's very apparent at this point this tag team is for Harley and not Willow. And I'm just ready. I'm ready for Willow to go off and get Fuse as TBS champion and to do other things.
I totally agree. I was shocked they won the belts in the first place. I was there the night that they won them, and it was like, whoa, because you would think a Tony and Mina thing was kind of set up there.
Yeah,
and
that's what I thought.
With Willow, it was like she had the huge match with Mercedes at the end of the year, the reunion with Statlander, and then she had to. It seems like she's babysitting now a little bit with Harley, and as you mentioned, no shade to Harley, anything, very kind of inexperienced wrestler trying to make her way in the business and stuff like that. But it's kind of like you couple with Statlander coming off the belt to Tekla, who love Tekla. Y'all just did an interview with Tekla, and it was I think I maintain that was a positive thing. Like as far as like Tekla winning the belt, as far as like capitalizing, striking on somebody. But Willow has been held back seemingly, like from her real ascension that could have came at any point. And I don't know if it's because she's intrinsically kind of tied to Mercedes. I don't know if it's a long-term kind of situation that they're keeping everybody on the hook for, but there's a lot of big matches that we could be getting to, especially like, you know, every time her and Megan paired off, it rang off that I think we need to progress Willow a little bit more.
Yeah. I don't know what you do. I don't know if this means we're going to do another Mega Bad match with Babes of Wrath and Mega Bad is going to win, because it sure seemed like that Mega Bad was going to win. So I don't know what you do there. I don't know if you speed up the Brawling Birds and give them the belt soon, but it just feels like right now, I don't know, man. Like, I'm just ready for them to do something else. And it's not even just with Willow. I'm almost ready for them to do something else with Harley as well, because it just feels like, I don't know, man. It feels like this tag team has a shelf life. It just feels like you already kind of put them in a trick bag, because the reunion with Statlander and Willow is already much more interesting than them as a tag team. So the entire time you're waiting for them to go, okay, when is the Statlander reunion going to happen? And then it happened after Willow won the belt, and it was just like, okay, now we're throwing them all in these catch-all segments, and it doesn't feel like it's really helping any of them. It just feels like
limited opportunities all kind of smashed together.
Yeah, it's just like and the stuff this week, it just kind of felt like the match wasn't bad, but it was just like the way the match ended, I was just like, yeah, I feel like I'm the only person that's like standing along the wall, like, we ready to wrap this thing up or not, man? Like, come on.
$10 super chat from Yuzuru Hart. Tag titles should have been on Tony and Mina, and Willow should be in singles. I don't know what TK was cooking. Made directions for Willow, Stat, Tony, Mina, and Tekla weird for a few months there.
Yeah, I feel like Mina has taken the brunt of this. Like, Mina has become like the damsel in distress in their act, and it hasn't helped her at all. Tony at least had the stuff with Orange Cassidy at Grand Slam Australia, and that match was fun, but like, it kind of feels like ever since they did not win in the finals, Tony and Mina have been a bit directionless.
I think also you can't ignore Mercedes going off TV, which, you know, it like, she commands so much attention to where there's going to be people that work with her that kind of by proxy get that. But when you take her off, you're kind of, and then Tony, as you mentioned, was kind of, you know, put elsewhere. There's only seemingly one segment really for them. So, that's something they got to figure out. They got to do a better job with that balance, but it's something to take note of for sure. But let's move forward, man, off AEW. Let's wrap this thing up. We're talking about Elimination Chamber. You know, Phil, I am much like Reg. I don't really rock with the Fed. I don't really know kind of what the dynamics are going in here. I see these shows and they only have like 3 or 4 matches on them. There's lots of ad time, lots of downtime. I can make a sandwich. I can order some wings. I can walk around the house, mow my lawn between matches, different stuff like that. But it's in Chicago. Phil, are you going to the show?
No, I do not plan on going. It's going to be at the United Center. Yeah, there's stuff around it that is very interesting at the moment. Some of the conversations about them not allowing certain venues to air the pay-per-view, and TKO trying to squeeze as many tickets out of this. And I mean, the fact that this is WWE making like their big triumphant return to the United Center, and this is kind of the big headline around it, that ticket sales isn't great. I don't think that looks good for TKO. I don't think that looks good for them as a company, because the United Center is like, this should be a big moment for them, especially because they made such a big to-do about planting their flag back in Chicago again as soon as they got Punk back. And you would have thought, like, this going to the United Center, this was going to be it. This was going to be the moment that really stamped it, and it hasn't been.
So like, you know, you said you're not going to the show. Are you sure about that? Are they going to be sending TKO vans around Chicago to ensure and kidnap people and bring them in the building? You know, like and unplug your internet wires and make sure you can't watch it at the crib.
Yeah, I could end up going last minute, but as of right now, I'm not going.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's very interesting. The show, I don't know, because Elimination Chamber has kind of been now the focus of another way to get on the WrestleMania card. And boy, do I think that they have gotten all the mileage they can in the storyline of how do I get on the WrestleMania card. And so it's not, win at the Royal Rumble, that's your way. Now, we have two options in the Elimination Chamber. And especially last year, I thought the Elimination Chamber was the better pay-per-view of the two because you had bigger moments at Elimination Chamber, like the John Cena heel turn. You had like Bianca winning the Chamber, the return of Jade, and all this stuff. And then you had actually good matches. It was actually better pay-per-view all around. This year, it's not quite the same. Like, I don't. You've put Punk and Finn Balor in a very odd predicament because nobody expects Finn Balor to win this match. And then you're also painting it as, well, if Finn does win, he's ruining WrestleMania because he's taking away the match that everybody wants to see. And so
why would you do that to him?
Yeah, so it's like, there's no way I see Finn Balor winning here. And then it's Punk, it's Chicago. I don't see him losing the belt in Chicago at the United Center.
That would be malpractice. Like,
I just don't see how you can do that. And then, like, even the way that they've set up the chambers, I was just saying when I was talking to Joe and Monty on another podcast, you did the stuff with Jade on Friday. Jade's walking back. Charlotte's music interrupts. They did this great stare down with Charlotte, and Jade comes back around and was like, I know you heard me. And she's holding up the belt. And I was like, okay, we got something here. This is interesting. That's your Mania match. That's your Mania match.
I'm looking at the list. I don't see Charlotte in this match, Phil.
That's where I'm going. You did this stuff on Friday that made this matchup interesting. And then Charlotte lost the qualifying match. I was like, what? And then you've got Rhea in the match. You've got this interesting dynamic with Io and Rhea where Rhea still hasn't beat Io. And Io's not in the match. She's not in the chamber match either.
Yeah, I saw that Liv Morgan has one of the title matches against Stephanie, and it's like that feels like that's just gonna struggle. Like it just, I got this long running thing. Liv Morgan will never win on this show. And I haven't been proven wrong yet. She had to win a Mickey Mouse Royal Rumble. That don't really count. You got to do it all the way over in Saudi Arabia. Of course, she's held these championships only in service of others and been beaten like a drum repeatedly. And it's just taking years and years. So, like, if she gets this and it's just overshadowed and booked badly, I feel like I'll still be correct. And Liv Morgan will never win. So, that, there's something on the line for me right there. But, let's look at this card, man. Like, we'll start with the women's elimination chamber. We got Tiffany Stratton, Rhea Ripley, Alexa Bliss, one of my all-time not favorites. Let's say that.
Not favorites is crazy.
Asuka, Kiana James, and Raquel Rodriguez. So Jade's the champion,
yes, and
Jade's opponent presumably is in this match.
Yes.
So I don't think they're going with Asuka. Because Asuka's like, out of here. They're not going with Raquel. That would be strange. I think from there it comes. There, Kiana James would be. I don't think that would work. But she's pretty much in here like new blood per se.
The only thing I can guess is that we get the mysterious attacker angle. Alexa gets taken out of the match, and that's how Charlotte gets entered into that.
Too? God damn!
I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised if that's where this is heading. Alexa gets taken out of this match somehow, and Charlotte gets put in her place, and Charlotte wins the chamber. Because I don't know any other reason why you start heating up any interest in Charlotte Jade if you're not doing it. And Jade just said in an interview this week that she thought that Charlotte was going to be her WrestleMania opponent. So something's got to be happening here.
She done slipped up and said the wrong thing in public.
Something's got to be happening here. I think Charlotte is going to end up in this match somehow. Because I just don't see how you do this. Because she, at this point, is the most interesting opponent for Jade. And, I mean, I wouldn't put it past them to go with Raquel, which, why would you do that? But also, at this point, wouldn't be surprised. Other than that, I don't see anybody else. Like, I think Kiana James has had an interesting few months. I thought she looked good in the Women's Royal Rumble. I thought she's looked impressive in the qualifying matches, but I don't see her winning this match.
Mm-hmm. And then besides that, it's Tiffany and Rhea. And is it like
You're not gonna go Tiffany Jade again. You've run that match
can't do
like
that.
8 times.
And then Rhea is like, that feels like something that you don't set. That feels like a setup for Jade if they do that. Like, no. But you can never discount WrestleMania, big star. Could get programmed in. She does have those tag belts, if I'm not mistaken.
Rhea could win, but my thing with that is, why would you bypass all of the interesting stuff you've got going with EO to put her in a match with Jade? Because if Rhea wins, what is EO doing at WrestleMania?
Right. Maybe former Booker of the Year Paul Levesque has a grand master plan to solve all these problems.
See, my thoughts on that would be so different if EO was in the match. But because she's not in the match, it doesn't make sense at all for Rhea to win now.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Get ready for Alexa Bliss to do her little flip splash off one of the pods, like she normally does. Tiffany Stratton will also probably do a moonsault off of one of the pods.
Bro, every time people say she's doing like the Seth superplex into that Falcon Arrow,
I know that hurts.
Workshop the move a little bit more. It's okay. Just workshop it a little bit more.
It ain't that far off from Seth.
Don't do my guy like that.
Similar ability right there.
Don't do my guy like that. Come on now. Come on.
But I think I'm gonna just go chalk and say Rhea Ripley's winning, and they're gonna figure it out. They're gonna love to stick the big the golf white woman against like the muscular black woman that is hopped out of a comic book. Like they're just gonna love how it looks, I think.
And I don't think that's a bad matchup. I just hate the idea that after the year that EO had, I mean, EO gave you the best WrestleMania match last year with Rhea and Bianca, went on a stretch of great pay-per-view matches last year, and then you come to WrestleMania the exact next year and you've got nothing for her but like maybe possibly coming to the ring with Rhea. I don't think this is good. Yeah. Yeah, I'm tentatively going to pick Charlotte to win because I feel like they're teasing this Charlotte Jade stuff.
This is insane. Like, this man picked with sound logic, someone who is not advertised for the match seems like the best thing. That's it. That's incredible levels of booking from Paul Levesque.
not great that I don't think anybody in this match is winning, especially when the field includes Rhea Ripley. But you've put yourself in a corner with the stuff with EO. It kind of feels like they're gonna walk into WrestleMania as tag champions, and you're probably gonna do like a multi-women match for the tag titles or something. I don't know.
Someone said they want to CPU. Maybe they canceled Julia and EO on SmackDown to do it at Mania. I can dream. They ain't run no Josu match,
bro. But see, that's what I'm saying. If you're doing all of this to just do EO challenging for the U.S. title, bro, she was world champion last year. Like, how's that not a step back?
Yeah, tough. Let's see. Let's go to the men's elimination chamber. We've got Randy Orton, LA Knight, Cody Rhodes, Javon Evans, Trick Williams, and Jey Uso. My God. All right, I'm looking at this. So we've got 4 guys over 40 and the younger guys. Obviously, Javon's in there to, jump all over the chamber, essentially add some fresh life to this. I'm looking at what can kind of come out of this. I feel like Cody Rhodes is pretty much the chalk easy winner here.
Yes.
Do you think a Randy Orton Trick Williams program could sprout out of this?
Yeah, I feel like whatever Trick Williams is doing at WrestleMania is going to come out of this chamber match. I don't think Randy's a bad shout for him. That gives him something to do. That's a high profile opponent for him. It definitely makes me think that Trick is losing. But
look, if they weren't cowards, he'd win.
Of course.
Yeah.
But I think that's probably where you're probably right. That's where we're going. But I just don't see a world where Cody Rhodes does not win this match. Like,
Yeah.
I just don't see any way that Cody does not win here. And if they're smart, they'll just make it a triple threat and add Jacob by the time we get to WrestleMania. But again, this is what's wrong with this entire structure of I gotta win this match to get my road to WrestleMania because Jacob is clearly one of the more interesting factors in this entire storyline. And if you don't figure out a way to get Jacob back in here, I don't know why. If we're just doing another Drew Cody match, why?
And because I root for the pain and suffering of WWE fans, I would like Cody to beat LA Knight at the end of the match in the final two, and then LA Knight walk out with that sad face, get destroyed by Brock on his way out of the thing, and then Cody Rhodes go off the air to mix support.
Yeah, because that is the reported match for LA Knight at WrestleMania. That's the report that he is going to answer the Brock Open Challenge. And it's so funny because when Brock did this segment on Monday, which was, boy, it felt like we were back in 2015. All of a sudden, I was like, we're still doing the exact same thing with Brock. Paul Heyman comes out. Everything is the same. We're talking about the streak in 2026. I'm just like, it's
He
time.
brought up the streak?
Yes. Yes. Because the whole premise to the promo was Heyman saying that the Undertaker match used to be basically another main event at WrestleMania. And now, because Brock Lesnar has beat the streak, Brock Lesnar supersedes that, and the Brock Lesnar match is another main event.
Not the Roman match?
I was just like, I however you get there, Paulie, however you spin this, but yeah. As soon as that segment started and all of the crowd was chanting Oba, I was like, yeah, Oba's not getting that match because that's what people want. Why would they give people what they want?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Why isn't Obafemi in this match?
Good question. Yeah, they're teasing a Rusev match. He's got Miz on Friday.
All right, hot prospects. Yeah. So. Yeah,
Oba Brock is the more interesting aspect. That's the more interesting matchup here. But are you just going to give Oba the win? That's the question. If you're not going to give Oba the win, don't do that match.
I agree. I agree. At this point, I would never put Brock over Obafemi. Like it would be like just how Lesnar beat the Undertaker every time he ever wrestled him. I would do a similar dynamic as that. Like, I'm going to whoop you every time I'm here. And good luck talking Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar into that. But, as far as Randy Orton, how does Randy Orton keep, like, just hanging around in this? It's like, are they ever going to do Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes ever at this point?
It doesn't seem like it because it doesn't seem like they have any interest in making Randy a heel again. And if you're not going to do that, I don't know how you get there. I don't know. And but yeah, you got Randy in this weird spot. Like Randy was in the final 4 of the Royal Rumble, and I was just like, okay.
Said Anwar Star when Heyman's really on that. You light my fire. I'm satisfied.
This has been a wild run for Heyman. I just saw this clip of him talking to BDE at the Creator.
Oh yes,
and I was just like,
I saw the same thing.
I was like,
You sure you want to say that, Paul?
Yeah, and I was just looking at the clip like, okay.
Yeah. I noticed how he has snuck himself back close to Paul or to Brock Lesnar with all the Vision members dropping like flies out here.
Yeah, I've given my theory that this is gonna become a Logan Paul faction. It's coming. If people don't see it, that's where this is heading. This is gonna be Logan Paul and his edgeheads. It's gonna be him and Austin Theory.
Austin Theory's gonna do all the wrestling.
Yeah, Grayson Waller. That's what this feels like. That's where this feels like it's going.
Have fun with that, fans. So, all right. singles match for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Becky Lynch versus AJ Lee. AJ Lee is the original one of my not like list. Never been a fan of AJ Lee. The offense always looked shambolic to me. It was just never believable for me. I thought her promos were very overrated. But Becky Lynch, every clip I see from her, it seems like she's doing the worst work of her career. Am I missing any more for someone who has watched more complete stuff of Becky? It looks like some of her all-time worst stuff. Like she has a fork in her back right now.
We've completely leaned into the most cartoonish stuff of this character when it was kind of understated early on, and she had the Lyra feud last year. I was on board with it. It was good. Yeah, I don't. The stuff she's doing with AJ at this point is not great, and you're teeing this up kind of as a WrestleMania caliber feud at this point. I don't know how this makes it to April. I have to assume they're probably going to give AJ the win here in Chicago. It's her adopted hometown. But how do you keep this thing going for another 2 months if that's what you're doing? I don't see how we get there.
Yeah, I feel like AJ's probably got to win, and then Becky's just challenging for a rematch, and then but it's like, all right, what are we ensuring the heel gets their fairness? Like that don't seem right either. So it's
it kind of feels like AJ's gonna win here. I think if they go into this match and they do like some screwy finish in the United Center, like that'd be as bad, I think, as Punk losing in Chicago. Like that just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, Becky has delivered with people that have been out of the ring for a long time. A couple years ago, I remember really enjoying her match with Trish that was in the cage.
Yeah.
But Becky seems very like the character has me so thrown off, and I think the Lyra stuff had mixed results, as you mentioned. Like that SummerSlam match was not it. So. Look, I hope they got something. I hope they got something.
I think they can have a good match. I thought the mixed tag match was fine at WrestlePalooza. It's so many what ifs with this because I just don't know why you would want to stretch this out the way they're stretching it out. Still very baffled with the way they're using it with AJ Lee in general. Like, I just don't understand like the schedule they're using her at. Like, we don't really know when she's gonna pull up, and then when she does, like, this is
everybody running from her. Big AJ Lee is here. She's walking in, and then it's like you remember the beginning of the Lil Jon song "Get Crunk" where some stomps like doom doom doom. Like that's how they be acting when AJ Lee comes around. I'm sorry, I've never believed it. I don't believe it now, and have fun. Have fun.
But yeah, I think that this match has some very low expectations for a lot of people based on the build. But I think that it can overcome those expectations because I think Becky is still a good wrestler. She probably can pull a good performance out of this. But like I said, my real worry is not so much this match. Is how the heck are you going to keep this feud going?
How do you do another one?
If this is heading to WrestleMania.
$5 super chat from Anwar Starwin. Appreciate you. Says your mama swerve. Fuck. Yeah. That was a good one. I might have to clip that one. But yeah, as you mentioned, main event presumably for the World Heavyweight title, CM Punk versus Finn Balor. I remember when CM Punk left WWE, Balor was one of the earliest imports where it was like, okay, who might people tie their fandom to, that kind of wrestler or whatever. And seeing them all these years later, they're both like on the other side of 45 years old now, if I'm not mistaken. I obviously you mentioned this is a no-hoper match with Balor, and maybe we should just like transition this to like Punk versus Roman talk, which I'd be definitely interested to see kind of what you think about it, because I saw the one promo they did, and the WrestleMania tickets ain't moving the fastest right now. I think we can kind of put the Balor. Let's put Balor away. I think we're both taking Punk pretty easy here.
Yeah.
But Punk Roman, this should be this is like one of their ace in the hole matches. You would think they,
Absolutely.
as I mentioned earlier, this company moves at a glacial pace primarily because they don't want to beat anybody. And there's a reason Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns isn't happening this year. So now with Punk and Roman, yeah, I feel like you give Punk what he wants, which is that day 2 main event, and I feel like he's laying it down for Roman. What are you thinking about this overall feud?
Yeah, this guy has gone back over there and has continued to eat crow for like 2 years. Everything he says, he's had to walk a lot of it back, and I feel like this is the last. This is the last big spoonful of crow you've got left for this guy after going on that podcast in 2014 and saying make Roman look strong. This is the last one. You're going to WrestleMania to make Roman look strong. I feel like that is definitely where this is heading.
Absolutely.
That's definitely where this is heading. But the thing is, I do think this is still a big blockbuster match for them. They kind of had to stumble into it because Rollins got injured. It felt like this was going to be Rollins Roman.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, this is a pretty big blockbuster match. And if they do just book this as these guys have real legitimate animosity, if you believe that at this point, because I certainly believe they had a conversation at this point.
Oh yeah.
Just a matter of like he's still stewing over stuff he said about him on his podcast 12 years ago. But if you really lean into like their real animosity and like the real lore between them, you do have something interesting. But the problem continues to be the same with Roman Reigns. He got to be there. If he's not there, how do you build this match? Because that's the whole thing. You spent a whole month since Royal Rumble now relying on this Finn Balor feud because Roman is not there. You even had Punk say on Monday, hey, I don't like to talk about what ifs. Probably the big what if would be if Roman Reigns was here tonight. Of course, he's not. So
look, and it's like, all right, are they building me up for the babyface part-time world champion? Like that just sounds weird. But like I can't picture Roman Reigns putting CM Punk over. Just no. It just seems so far. Like
it seems so far off because at the end of the day, even if you're not looking at it the way I'm looking at it, like Punk is going back over there and had to roll back a lot of stuff he said. This is still CM Punk going up against their guy. They don't want Punk to beat their guy. It's just not gonna happen. I just don't see it happening in any way. And boy, I will have all the egg on my face. I will come back and say I was wrong if that happens. But boy, I just don't believe that. And at this point, like the real big test here is because Roman isn't the same Roman he was 10 years ago. Roman can actually hang in a promo with Punk. You can actually do interesting segments with this. But you've got to get to it. And if you're just going to do these like segments where we get them every 3 weeks or a month apart, that's not that interesting. Like you've got to actually do something interesting week to week with these guys. And that's going to be the real challenge after this pay-per-view.
So I think the default WWE fan is rooting for Roman Reigns here for sure.
Absolutely.
And they are hearing the things about Roman never being there, and they're like, so we like that.
They don't care.
They're like, we like that, like about him, like, there's no opportunities to fuck him up. There's like, it seems like the absence makes the heart grow fonder type thing. Roman just comes off as above everyone, right?
Yeah.
It just seems like a really weird feud. Like, as you mentioned, they're calling this shit back from the podcast, which people talk about how, and I listen to you guys talk about it. I kind of feel similarly how hard he made Roman Reigns' life, right? And it's like, okay, man, like maybe it got marginally tougher. You still had the push from God himself.
Absolutely.
Like, and like, did you have to fight uphill against the reactions? Yes. But also, look at all the other people that were in the picture. Daniel Bryan at the time. Later, AJ Styles. But at that point, they started bringing 2 belts back, separating people. People like Seth Rollins as an alternative, like yourself. Like, Ambrose was always there, kind of on the other side of Roman. But all these people systematically they got picked off one by one, kind of, right? And not through necessarily any fault of Roman's. It's just like, they were ensuring Roman was he got an escort to the top of the company, he got a police what was the word I'm looking for, police escort to the top of the company. So if they didn't push him so incorrectly, maybe CM Punk's words wouldn't have been as effective.
But that has always been the thing I think is hilarious about that podcast and people that were so mad at Punk afterwards. Yeah, Punk did not help matters. Yes, Punk made it marginally harder for him, but people were already starting to reject Punk before that. I mean, reject Roman before that podcast. Those words hit with people because they already felt that way. It just affirmed what they already knew. When he talked about how he needed to put him over strong in that TLC match, they already knew. That's why they believed him. So he can say what he wants, but that feeling was already there in the fan base. He just affirmed it. And so another part here that I think is very funny. This just isn't the same WWE audience. This isn't the same rebellious WWE audience. This isn't the same audience that rejected Roman.
They don't care about the shoot shit.
They don't care about that. This fan base loves Roman. They don't care.
They might not even been there.
Exactly. Some of these fans were not there, and they don't understand what fans rejected about Roman back then. So when Roman does that backstage thing where he's walking around and he was like, I had to take this. I earned this. I had to take this from all of these legends. They believe him. They weren't there, and so they don't know that that's cap.
Right, right.
They believe him.
Look, good on Roman. Lie to them niggas. Like, I don't.
Exactly.
Right.
So, bro, they were there for the 4-year reign. They don't care about none of that. Some of them only know of Roman being on top, being the top draw for this company, being tribal chief and all of these things. So all of this stuff that Punk is saying, it don't really hit like it would have hit 5 years ago.
I was going to say, is this just a case of like, there's just been so much time they're trying to make up for where it's like just way more ineffective than it would have been?
Yeah, I think the only thing at this point that remains effective, because coming into it, I was worried. I was like, how do you build a feud for a title that Roman has already told everybody it's a second place trophy? He's already told you he don't care about that trophy. Why would he challenge for that trophy?
Also, CM Punk is a babyface. Doesn't it feel like there's only so far he would be kind of allowed to go on Roman Reigns, like as far as like the things that he can say about him that could potentially damage Roman? Like, I felt like Punk should have just turned heel and then did it. But, Punk is like, I think Punk's very locked into being a babyface. Like,
yeah, I don't think he's turning heel either. But at the very least, it kind of feels like Roman is like doing tweener stuff here, and that's what they're trying to bank on. But even that doesn't necessarily work with the dynamic you're going for. But yeah, it just feels like the only thing you really got here is that if you know enough about these two guys, Roman does not like Punk. And that's what makes it feel real, quote unquote, is that Roman hates this guy because he's been throwing shots at him since 2021. So that's what you've got to hang your hat on. But again, you've got to make the week-to-week stuff really stick. And if that stuff doesn't really sell you on this match, they're in trouble because, like I said, I think you had an easy match to sell, like I said, 5 years ago. Even 2021, you had an easy match to sell. But now it's a little bit tougher. And yeah, it's just hard to get past this schedule with Roman, man.
And
what
think
are you
about
gonna
it.
do?
It's like Punk, you're showing up every week. You're doing your quote unquote half of the promo and everything. And think about what you leave with. You leave with no belt at the end of the day, and then you leave out of here still as a babyface. And it's like it feels nasty. Like as far as like. It's amazing why you look at like the only like heel that's factored in near the top is Drew McIntyre, right? I feel like WWE is like terrified to really turn people heel because they want this babyface promotion, they want the love, or Paul Levesque wants to be hailed as this genius, and if you got heels like muddying things up, it's just not as clean for them. Them with this babyface versus babyface dynamic. And then, as you mentioned, the story that doesn't probably resonate with this crowd. I wonder how the effect on that is the ticket sales plus a return to Vegas plus the increased prices, it just seems like a recipe for less success.
Yeah. But like I said, this is probably the biggest match you've got with the wrestlers you have right now. The fact that the ticket sales are what they are for this match and like all the lore around it. I mean, this is Las Vegas. This is Punk coming into Las Vegas where he famously cut the pipe bomb. You got so many things around this. I don't know, but the first time I got my inkling that this is just a different company and Punk is just in a different land, he's in a different place in his career, is the Cena feud, and Cena cut his faux pipe bomb, and people were like, Cena has a point. I was like, oh, we've completely jumped the shark.
we turned this over.
We've completely jumped the shark because people were like, Cena has a point. I'm like, bro, that is not what was said in 2011.
Yeah. Yeah, there's yeah, the new, they've got a, you know, Triple H loves to shoot shit. I'm sure Punk loves to shoot shit. Roman is almost as far away from one of these shooty type characters as there is. What did he like? What's his defining thing? Is the bloodline. Like that's a yeah, they're related and shit, but it was kind of cartoony and goofy about their relationships and stuff like that. And ultimately he was just a heel champion, right? It was very pro wrestling.
Yes.
This is like if they want to do the feud how CM Punk wants to do it, they've got to commit. It feels like they're half stepping. Like it feels like they want to allude to the stuff, but they don't want to rip the Band-Aid off all the way because it might not benefit them to rip the Band-Aid off. But you can't. It seems like Punk doesn't want to play in necessarily WWE land either here. So
yeah,
it's just a difficult match to book.
Yeah, I think the interesting stuff they did in that promo is stuff that you wouldn't have caught if you don't know enough about the Art of Wrestling podcast, these guys' history together. You might have just thought like, oh, well, why did he say that? Like, it's just kind of like, but it has to be things that you already knew ahead of time. And some fans currently are just not going to understand what they're alluding to. Like, Punk coming out there and walking right past him and going, yeah, I want this Finn Balor match. Where's Finn at? Yeah, because that's been his point for the past 2021, since he's come back to wrestling. Oh, that guy's still talking about me? I've moved on. Why is he still talking about me?
Yeah.
Why do you still need to talk about me? You're the man. Why are you worried about me? You're worried about what people might think because of something I said on a podcast 12 years ago? You still emotional about that?
Like, you mad?
Yeah, or him saying, you learned from me, which was his initial point from that podcast of being like, oh, I didn't want Liaki, but they wanted Liaki, but it's fine. He can come and learn from me. And so some of those things, they were direct references from that podcast, but some people might just not have caught them.
Look, some people might have actually been so angry in their love for the World Wrestling Federation that they've never even bothered to listen to that podcast because it would just hurt them so much. Yeah. So they're catching secondhand information off this. They built it up in their head how bad it is, but don't know those specifics. Shout out to my man Montezzi in the comments. Says salute, great work, love y'all, much love, Teasy. Shout out to Teasy.
Yeah, for sure. There's some of that.
Yeah, they're like.
But yeah, if you're like me, and when that came out, and at the time it came out, I've listened to that podcast multiple times. So there's certain parts of it I can quote verbatim, and so there were parts of that promo that I was like, oh, I know exactly what he's doing. But it's so inside baseball for people, and it's so slow, and it took so long to get to the point. Some people might have missed bits of it, but to your point, if you're going to get to this, you got to get to like the meat of what these two guys really hate about each other. You can't like skim across the surface. You can't be afraid to like get into it. You can't do these cookie cutter promos. You got to get into it. If you're not going to do that, why are we doing this feud?
Sell some fucking tickets. CM Punk, you always talk about, you can talk him into the building, right? Let's see it. Like, let's see it.
Yeah. I feel like he's got so much material, and I think that's the thing that's funny because people, again, love Roman now, so it's different. But I feel like he's got a ton of material. I think he could look around like, wait a minute, he's still whining about this podcast?
Yeah. It's tough, man.
That podcast hurt Punk more than it hurt you. Like, this guy, I don't know.
Yeah. It's wild, man. But yeah, I guess that'll we can leave it there on those guys. And I'm looking at my list of topics. I think we hit it all pretty much. So I guess we can wrap it up and all that. Appreciate you jumping on, Phil. Always happy to have you and talk to you here. And we'll have to do it again. Been a while since we been on a pod together and all that. And just appreciate what you do. Appreciate the looks that you've given me personally, like on Bleacher Report, different stuff like that. And just some of those have just increased visibility for me. And, just as y'all hold it down on Grapsody with that huge platform on Fightful, always proud of you guys doing your thing. 100% support from me and One Nation Radio and Social Suplex as a whole. And let us know, what you got coming up the pipeline.
We've got the interview with Tekla that dropped this Monday on our YouTube channel. You can check that out. We'll be back at our usual time, noon Eastern, on Fightful's YouTube channel. That'll be me and Righteous Reg hosting Grapsody. We've got Elimination Chamber on Saturday. We've got a New Japan show tomorrow night. Very much looking forward to that.
Oh, yeah, that card is pretty nice.
Yeah, that card is stacked so far, but depending on how this pay-per-view goes, we might actually do a review for it on Monday. Very curious to see what's coming out of this pay-per-view. Might be a lot to talk about. Might be a quick pay-per-view to run through.
Like, 4 matches. We got,
I don't see how you don't end this show if you're WWE with Roman in the United Center. This is your chance to have, like I said, you're planting your flag in the United Center. How do you not have Roman in this night and do a stare down with him and Punk?
Yeah. He should jump on him. Like they should be brawling as they go off air or whatever. Shout out to Cyclops is better than Wolverine 8651. Peace and love, everyone. Have a blessed night for the super chat. Thank you. And,
appreciate you.
Hell yeah. So let me get to these. I guess we'll wrap it up here. Appreciate you guys listening. Make sure you check out all the other podcasts on Social Suplex Podcast Network. Of course, One Nation Radio, me and James. Keeping It Strong Style, All Things Elite, Imps, WWE Adventure, Wrestling Art with Chris Things, Tunnel Talk, the Trish and Sarah Podcast, the AEW Match Guide, and Joshying Around. Thank you guys for listening. We'll holler at y'all next time. Peace. All right, y'all. Get this thing turned around for the podcast feeds and all that. Appreciate y'all hanging out on the stream with us, and appreciate the super chats and y'all running it up for us. Make sure you hit the like button on the way out, and we'll holla.
Appreciate you.